How is your heart?
Ooh! Oh my gosh. It's not broken anymore. I was heartbroken, y'all. God broke my heart. And I know we like to say like he ain't never disappointed us and
Hmm.
oh,
Right,
I
right.
feel disappointed. I was feeling disappointed and the decision to come out of my career broke my heart. And I was dealing with a broken heart. I didn't realize it until you just asked me that question that I was dealing with a broken heart because I'm used to broken hearts in relationships,
Hmm.
not in obeying God for real.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But my heart, Jesus Christ, my heart is well. For the first time in a long time, my heart is okay. And I don't remember a time where my heart was okay in my
Mm,
life, in my adult life. My heart is okay. And it's well. I feel like it's whole again.
mm.
And I didn't anticipate that. I did not anticipate that, but maybe, dang it, the tears are just coming down now. but
You got
maybe,
me trying.
but maybe this was what it was about.
Mm,
That my heart had been sick for so long that I had learned how to live and survive with it operating at a small capacity. And now when you ask me that question, it's like it's okay, it's mended again, right?
yeah.
It's back whole again. And this whole year and a half has been a healing journey from a sick heart. And for the first time in a long time, I'm not brokenhearted. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Book of Brianna, a podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Brianna Whiteside, and today I am joined by my co-host,
Nikki?
Nikki. So if y'all haven't noticed, Nikki has been a staple on the podcast for this month. I hit her up like, yo, I need some help with this thing. And would you be willing to help me out? And she agreed. And so we have come into a partnership for her to be a co-host on the podcast. And I'm so excited to have her. I said this once before, I'll say it again. Thank you so much for helping me with this lift because it's been heavy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I can
It's
imagine, but thank you for having me and inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, y'all, in the month of June, we are talking about transitions. And with transitions in mind, I created a resource for those of us who are in transition. It is called the Transition Toolkit, equipped with 2 ebooks: The Ugly Truth, Going First with No Guide. This is for the pioneers, those people who get the taste left out their mouth because they're the first people to do something in the family. And then the second ebook is called Trusting the Process and Processing the Trust. And it is for individuals who are struggling with fear. Because when God calls you to do something you've never done, fear does crop up, and I understand that. And so I want you to go ahead and get this transition toolkit at briannawhiteside.com, or you can buy the books separately if that's your jam. In addition, I am also offering strategy sessions on my website. I am launching out more into the strategy coach realm, and I would love to help you bring your dreams to reality. And so if you need help, if you need to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be, book a strategy session with me today. You will not be sorry. Nikki, what you got going on, girl?
In the vein of transition, if you know that God has been telling you it is time for you to step out and do something different, and you've kind of put it on the shelf because you're like, I don't know where to start or I don't know what to do, then I want you to book your one on one call with me because I too will help you figure out your ideas and your thoughts around entrepreneurship so that you can get your business started. So if you are ready to do that, you can find out more information at nikkilegros.com, and all of that will be in the show notes and description.
Absolutely, y'all. It's so funny when we clocked in June. I was telling one of my cousins this. I was saying because I'm trying to be snatched for the summer. I'm trying to be a snack. Don't email me. I'm trying to be a snack and I'm trying to be snatched. And I started wearing my Apple Watch and I was looking back over my fitness progress over the last since November, right? Since I knew that I was about to have to make this transition out of my career. And you could tell I was just going through something. My workouts were inconsistent. I wasn't closing rings. I wasn't doing anything. But something happened when we clocked into June. As a matter of fact, it started happening the last month of May. I started feeling the burden, kind of just lift. And baby, when I tell you I've been in the gym burning 1,000 calories in one session, now I do be in there for a little bit longer than what I usually do, but it feels so good to be back, right?
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm.
don't really know how much decisions weigh on you until you see them actually weigh on you. And I ain't gonna lie, ain't nobody tell me I was getting a little big. Y'all was having grace for me, but I was getting the big back. But y'all had grace. And so now I am back. I am back stronger. I'm coming back healthier. And, I'm just grateful that season over. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Like I too have made the transition to get back into the gym. And yesterday was like one of my first days back, and I was just like, okay, let's go get the membership. It's a brand new gym. I like shiny new things. So I'm like, let's get in there. And I wanted to go in, and I was like, we're just gonna do maybe like 30 minutes. Let's get the body moving, see what it feels like. Cause I didn't want to wake up sore the next day. Child, we were in there for an hour and 10, 15 minutes. I burned over 1,000 calories, and I was
Period.
in there like every weight, every burden, I left it there. I
I'm
left
glad
it
to hear that.
there. And it felt so good. And thank God, because I did stretch yesterday, but thank the Lord above, I did not wake up super sore. And I was like, okay, when I'm done with this, we're going back. Let's go. Because I'm trying to
Listen,
unbig my back too, okay?
congratulations. Do we just pray that the spirit of the gym attacks everyone watching
In
this
Jesus' name,
recording?
I lift my hands and receive
In
it.
Jesus' name, man, the spirit of the gym just rests heavily upon. You know what I'm saying? Oh
Real
man, that's
talk.
so funny. So you was telling me about something that you saw on Threads.
Oh, yes. So just this morning, I saw a comment that said something to the effect of the TikTok girlies are always talking about the soft life Christian era. And she was like, there is nothing soft about this walk. Like, why are we so delusional to think that, walking with God is easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, and like we just out here skating and coasting. And I was like, I could not agree more, ma'am, because I'm out here fighting for my life. Okay. Going
Baby,
to that gym was a fight.
girl, we be out here looking like everything we've been through,
Every single
following
thing
God,
we've been through.
following Him. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that is a major misconception. Talking about soft girl Christian life, those words don't even go together.
Go
They don't
together, right?
go in the same sentence. Don't put them
That
together
part.
because you're going to be
That part.
disappointed if you think that following God is going to give you a soft life. The journey ain't soft. So you're not getting the soft life. You know what I'm saying?
That part, right.
It ain't. And so, in the vein of that, y'all, today's episode, we are going to talk about the end of my career. I know that we've been talking about it a lot, but we are 7 days out. I already feel the tears. As I'm saying this, I already feel the tears beginning to well up in my little eyes. But I thought it'll be a good idea to let Nikki interview me. It's just going to be a very organic conversation because you all have journeyed with me since I first told y'all are journeying with me in January. But
Mm-hmm.
what you didn't know, as we look backwards, you all started journeying with me through this decision in August. And so as we are quickly coming up on the August month, and I am quickly approaching, of course, 7 days away from the official ending of my career, I just thought it's time to have another truthful, honest, and vulnerable conversation. And so I'm gonna let Nikki interview me. I don't know what she's gonna ask me.
It's
I'm
gonna be
nervous.
fun.
But I am gonna be honest. That's what I try to do. I'm gonna be honest. And all right, Nikki, when you're ready, I'm ready.
Ooh, and now you got me nervous. Like,
Baby, I'm already crying. The tear coming up on the left side of
okay, 7 days out. This has been a year and a half long journey and process for you. It's 7 days. You only have 7 days left. What are you feeling? What emotions are showing up for you? And like how has this entire process made you feel?
Y'all see me crying already. I didn't even answer a question. I didn't answer a question. Okay. You're gonna have to ask me again because I'm like, Brianna, don't cry. Don't you got your new eyelashes on.
And I gotta remember what I said. Told you
I
this
don't
is
even
organic.
know. Ask me one question at a time.
Because you are 7 days out, this has
Yeah.
been a long process and journey. How are you feeling knowing this chapter of the book is about to close? The book of
Yeah.
Brianna is about to
Oh,
close.
this chapter is closing. I am sad. I am two feelings. I am sad, but I'm also excited. I am sad because endings are always hard, right? No
Mhm.
one likes to end. I've kind of already reconciled with like, I've done all this work to get this thing, to do this thing. You know, those were the beginning emotions. Now we're at the
Mhm.
end where I can't turn around, I can't turn back. I'm like, okay, okay, right?
Right.
You're here. You've made it through the process.
Mhm.
So I'm sad that that chapter of my life is coming to an end, but one thing I do know is that also I am also excited. As y'all know, I have been standing on your latter days will be greater than your former days. And in real time, I've had to learn and understand that things have to end for you to get to the latter. Former days have to come to an end. And so that means that tons of endings have to happen. And now that I'm at the last ending, because there was a series of endings when I had to make this decision. Now I'm at the last ending, 7 days away. I can't be more excited because I know that God is a rewarder. And if nothing else, I have obeyed. Like I gave up the last thing I had. And so now it's
Mhm.
just like, I don't have nothing else. And now you're
Right.
going to have to show up and blow my mind. But not also do you have to blow my mind. You're going to have to blow the minds of everyone else who's watching this journey because you
Mhm.
told me to show it in real time.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I am excited about what's next for me, but I'm also even more excited for God to use my life to prove that he
Mhm.
can be trusted.
What is God saying that's next for you?
He ain't said a mumbling word. And you know, this has been a hard lesson about trust. I think I said to you the other day
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
I had to realize that I don't really trust him. I don't. And this whole journey was a mirror to me. You
Mhm.
don't trust me. You don't believe what you really say. You're offering me lip service and your heart is far from me. Like, let me show you you, Brianna. And I think that's the hard thing too. When I was journeying, I'm like, ooh, girl, you up here lying. You've been lying. And you didn't know you was lying.
Right. Right.
Right. But he still has yet to say anything. And it's so God is intentional with me about things because he be last minute. Y'all know this with me.
11:59:59.
Period. But I remember him giving me this, you know, I met someone who I watch on the faith and, you know, we were able to connect back in April and he gave a prophetic word through her like 16 weeks from this time. And
Mhm.
so it was kind of him saying, hey, you're going to end the career before you see the next step clear.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it's coming in 16 weeks. And 16 weeks is y'all at the end of July.
You got the red marker on your calendar crossing off the
Girl, what?
days.
It's in my phone. You say it.
Alarm.
I want to wake up. I better wake up. And it better be clear that morning. But he has not made anything clear to me yet. And I'm still walking by faith and not by sight. And so, you know, I'm still just walking in the direction that I know to walk in, trusting that whatever I'm walking towards is going to meet me halfway.
So in our conversation offline, we had talked about like disappointment and what it feels like to be disappointed by God. And that was that's what led into our conversation about you don't really trust him as much as you say you do or as you think you do. And so with knowing that you needed to end your career, with knowing that you are walking this journey out every single day, crying, spitting, and farting, as you say,
Period.
fighting for your life,
Yeah.
how does that make you feel to know that you don't have your next steps? Are you nervous, scared? I know you said excited, but like what emotions are coming up for you?
It's terrifying. I remember, when was this? This had to have been late March. I called my mother crying, saying, I'm terrified. I am a planner. And you got to
Mm-hmm.
understand where this terror is coming from. It's not just coming from the fact that I'm a planner. It's coming from the fact that I was raised in poverty in the hood and I don't want to go back. So even though I'm so far from that life, I was groomed and raised in it. And so on a subconscious level, it's like, you can end up back there. And so in all of my work, and I've been honest about this, that I was running for a long time until I stopped. It was like, now that I don't have the next steps and I can't see my next way clear, it's like, are you finna put me back in the hood? Like, I can't, I can't go back to the hood. You know what I'm saying? I did my time. I did my time, but I am terrified because I just have to be honest. This next is not something that I want for myself. I know some people who want to be in the faith realm or whatever the case may be, and I don't even know in what capacity I would be in the faith realm because I am not churched. Right? I don't know that world. It's foreign to me and it's weird to me in a lot of ways. And so like for me to maybe be going in that way, I'm not fully sure. I'm like, you got to.
Right.
That's a faith talk for me. But also I have to do the hard work of rewiring myself to trust God and not have my faith in my career and in my own efforts, right? And that is, I've been depending on me. I've had to have me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this whole time, God's like, I need you to stop that. I need you to stop that. And I need you to let me secure you. And that's a terrifying thing. Just the thought of potentially having to end up back in the hood. And that's a mentality that is something that's subconscious that I have to fight and wrestle against every day.
And that's what I was about to say, especially like having to do the work to retrain your mind and to not accept what you may have seen or been taught or grew up in. That's a process in itself. And then the fear of that it may get back to that because you don't know next steps is a real place. That's a real spot for you.
And I'm gonna just be honest, like sometimes I will wake up in terror, like it's jump out of my sleep.
Panic, straight panic.
Panic, right? In panic, wake up.
Right.
What did I just do? Am I doing the right thing? You know what I'm saying? All of these things. And it has not been an easy journey. I had to find joy again. I had to find joy again because there's a difference between joy and happiness. I'm not happy about this situation. Let me just 100%. I had to find something to be joyous about. And through that process of renewing my mind to him or rewiring my mind to kingdom standards, because I'm like, all right, well, we're going to stand on Bible. That's why this year has been so heavy on that on my channel, standing on Bible, because I don't have nothing else. So basically, God has literally stripped me down to nothing. And it was over time, right? But this last decision,
right,
career, that was the final strip. Like I ain't had nothing else. And it's just like the disciples. I don't know why the word is coming up in this moment, but
come on, word.
It's just like the disciples when Jesus was like, "Are you going to leave too?" And they like, "Where would I go?
Right.
I don't got nothing else.
Right. I won't have nothing else. This is it."
And I am the person who's never had plan Bs, right? And I ain't talking about the contraception. Like I've never had a plan B. So plan A was always the plan. And so now that I definitely ain't got no other plan, we just gonna have to run the play.
So as you are closing this chapter of the first volume of your book series, what are you doing as a planner, how do you prepare for this? I mean, I know, like I said, you don't know next steps, you don't know what's coming next. Can you even plan to some degree, or like what steps are you taking to be open and ready for when he downloads what he wants you to do next?
I can't plan this out. I can't even see my way clear. So I can't plan it. What I am able to do is depend on the daily benefits that he loads me with, because that's what our Bible tells us, and do what the day requires of me. And so what I've started to learn as I've been in this month is that he gives new insight every day. And so whereas I'm used to like being able to chart my way 10 spaces ahead, we got to understand that we play chess and we play checkers and God plays chess. He plays chess. He's playing a long game here. And I can't see the board like he can see the board, right? And so I've had to give up my plan and ways. I've had to give it up and just follow the strategy of the day. Give us this day our daily bread. What is my strategy today? What do you want me to do today? And as I've leaned more into that, that goes into the trust, that goes into the rewiring. I have still been successful when not with the stress of the decision. And y'all know I was stressed out,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's lifted.
How is your heart?
Ooh! Oh my gosh. It's not broken anymore. It's not broken. I was heartbroken, y'all. God broke my heart. And I know we like to say, like, he ain't never disappointed us. And
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Right.
I
Right.
feel disappointed. I was feeling disappointed. And, the decision to come out of my career broke my heart. And I was dealing with a broken heart. I didn't realize it until you just asked me that question that I was dealing with a broken heart. Because I'm used to broken hearts in relationships,
Mm-hmm.
not in obeying God for real.
Right.
But my heart, Jesus Christ, my heart is well. For the first time in a long time, my heart is okay. And I don't remember a time when my heart was okay in my
Mm.
life, in my adult life. My heart is okay. And it's well. I feel like it's whole again.
Mm.
And I didn't anticipate that. I did not anticipate that, but maybe, dang it, the tears are just coming down now. But
You got
maybe,
me trying.
but maybe this was what it was about.
Mm.
That my heart had been sick for so long that I had learned how to live and survive with it operating at a small capacity. And now when you ask me that question, it's like, it's okay, it's mended again, right?
Yeah.
It's back whole again. And I needed that to step into what he wants me to do. I can't have a broken heart and I can't have a evil heart or anything like that to step into the next in my life. And
Mm-hmm.
this whole year and a half has been a healing journey from a sick heart.
Mm.
And for the first time in a long time, I'm not brokenhearted.
Did you just get that revelation right now that this
Yeah.
whole year and a half has been a healing journey to mend your broken heart?
Yeah. And I always tell people healing sometimes hurts. Sometimes we romanticize healing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I don't understand. I hate this. I hate this. I didn't have time, or I wasn't even cognizant of the healing that was taking place. It just happened. I didn't even know it happened until you asked me that question. And it's like, God's like, all right, now pay attention to what I did. You didn't see that because you were so focused on what you didn't
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't even notice that I healed your heart from all the past disappointments, from all the things you had to endure to make it to this point. I gave you a clean heart. Psalms 51:10,
Mm-hmm.
a new heart and a new spirit within. And so he gave me a soft heart in 2021 when that whole situation broke my whole life and my heart had to be softened for a year and a half. But it still wasn't a healed heart. It was soft,
Mm-hmm.
softer.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't operating at full capacity. I wasn't operating from a place of healing.
What an amazing revelation. So I have one final question I could think of right now, unless whatever you say sparks another question. But Dr. Brianna Whiteside, who is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit to you in this season right now, today?
For the first time, I can honestly say, and it's not a cliche, that they're my everything. I don't have anything else. I don't have nothing without him. I am nothing. I can do nothing aside from him, and they're my safe place.
Mm-hmm.
The scripture that says you can run to him and be safe. And I don't think I've coming out of the hood and all this other stuff. I can't say that I've felt safe for a long time. If you grow up in the hood and with gang violence all over, you're not safe. Your body is not safe. And I think that throughout this whole journey, it was him trying to show me, no, you are safe. You're safe. I know you don't feel safe, but you are safe. And so like, they're my safety, my refuge. That's it. Like, that's all I can't even put
Yeah.
into words, because every time I wake up, I'm just like, I can't do this without you. And that has not been a natural words that come out of my mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had to say that a lot in my life, right? I'm like, no, I got it. Actually, I can do this part. Now, at this point in my life, I'm like, is your breath in my lungs?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so as
Yeah.
I wake up and it's just like this childlike faith, this come to me as a child, all of
Mm-hmm.
the references in the Bible, it's like this childlike faith, like I'm not grown no more.
That part. Yeah.
As I've been grown for a long time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I'm not grown no more. And now I'm following you as a daughter into this next that I don't know what it's supposed to look like. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if the world is ready for the white side in this way. But they ready or not, here I'm not supposed to be singing. Lord here.
Ready or not, here I come. Right, that's real. When you were talking about safety, I think, and it's funny because I had posted something on Threads about men needing to feel safe with their wives, and because we already know women need to feel safe or want to feel safe, and so when you were talking about safety, it was like I saw the scripture that talks about that he hides you under his wing, and I could just see this wing coming up over you while you're crouching down, and you like it's hugging you, but you have this safety, you feel safe. And I think not a lot of people talk about the importance of feeling safe, especially when we walk with God. Like, it's hard, it's a struggle. This is not the soft life Christian era. That's not a thing.
Not a
But
thing.
to know that you feel safe even through this process of not knowing, of having to give up everything, and the last little piece that you had is now gone or is leaving in
Yeah.
7 days
Yes.
completely,
Yeah.
to know that even in all of that, you still feel safe. That's huge.
I do. Without a plan, and I didn't think I would be able to get to this point in my life, right? Without a plan, without a roadmap, without nothing. Like, literally, God, for the last year and a half, God has shut the door, shut the blinds, pull the blinds, draw the blinds.
Mm-hmm. Draw the curtains.
No one's about to see, not the prophets, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, not
right.
anyone who I would probably like, hey, okay, okay. I
Got
need something.
anything?
And they like, nah.
Nah, I ain't got nothing.
I ain't got nothing, because he won't let us see. And this was a trust test. You know how they do like this trust fall.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to do a trust fall here. And that's what this decision has been for me, a trust fall. And the jury is still out right now.
Right.
You know what
They're
I'm saying?
still convening. The courts of heaven are still convening.
Period. I don't know what the verdict is about to be. No one knows. However, I know who I belong to. So while I don't know what to do, I know who I belong to, and no parent
100%.
let their child suffer, or no good parent, right? The Bible, he says, like, if you who are wicked
Right,
can give good gifts,
right. How
how much
much
more?
more? Mm-hmm.
How much more? And I am really learning this. Also is like healing a father wound is probably healed. It's probably healed, because y'all know it's been tricky with
Mm-hmm.
my father and I's relationship. And as a result of that being tricky with us, it was tricky with God and I. And I have been living with that for so long, y'all. Oh my God, the burden and the pain of that. And now it's not there.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Oh my gosh, it's not there.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Especially for like women who struggle with their relationship with their father. Like I am, we've shared, before, but I am one of those that didn't have my father in my life. And to know that throughout this process, like your heart, number one, is healed. Number two, you feel safe. And number three, like you're trusting again. And
Ooh,
your trust with God is allowing you to trust humans, people.
period. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel in this revelatory moment that you just had? Like,
Right? I'm proud of me. I am
amen.
proud of myself. And
You
this
should
isn't like
be.
in no boastful way or, just, me trying to talk my stuff, but I really am proud of me. Like this process has grown me so much in such little time. Like comparatively speaking, right now, it was a long year and a half, trust me. It was a long year and a half. However,
Mhm.
I've grown so much that I didn't even realize how much I grew until this conversation. And I feel confident in myself because I haven't felt confident while I was on this journey for this last
Mhm.
year and a half. I wasn't confident.
Mhm.
And that's a lot coming from me who has been confident.
Confident, right? You're a confident person.
I'm a confident person. And so now I'm not confident. I'm like, what a clown at? Because I got to be at the circus.
You had one of those fake it till you make it type of
That's
moments
exactly what
where
I
like you showed up online confident, but behind closed doors,
A teeny bit, a
right.
teeny bit. Yes,
That
I'm not.
confidence
I
was
wasn't confident.
gone.
I wasn't,
Yeah.
but I had to coach. I feel like that was also me coaching myself into confidence. When you showing up, when you doing this, when you still doing it, it is fake it till you make it, but it's also coach yourself through it
Mhm.
and give yourself grace with that. Because I think what I've demonstrated to people is that you can still do it if you're not, even if you're not confident. Because at some point you have to be more confident in he,
Mhm.
not in
Mhm.
she. You
Mhm.
got to be confident in he.
Mhm.
So take the S off,
Right.
right? The S, the Superman, the cape, take it on
Mhm.
off and
Mhm.
let the he stand.
Mhm.
And I, on the subconscious level, was confident in him when I wasn't confident in me, but I had to let my feelings catch up with my spirit. They took a long time. Baby, them feelings said,
They tend to, yes, for sure.
heck no, we won't go.
Right. We gonna head this way
We
while
ain't
you
going
over
that
there.
way. And the whole time the GPS rerouting, rerouting, rerouting. But it's true, girl. That's really what was my last year and a half. My weight showed it. My face showed it. Oh my God. I'm so happy to be back. Goodness, because I wasn't me. And I was like, that was uncomfortable for me. Because I felt like I was, and I said this to some friends privately, like I'm showing up fragmented, I feel like, but I'm also feel like I'm showing up as a shell of a person. The person who I was is no longer here and I can't locate her because she doesn't fit in what he's trying to do. And so like I was showing up as this shell, but now as I am becoming, y'all saw me unbecoming in real
Right.
time.
Right.
And I know we don't like to talk about unbecoming the things. We like to talk about what God is going to do, but the struggle in the transition is you unbecoming all of these things. Shameless plug, I do have a book entitled Unbecoming on briannawhiteside.com if you can grab it. But y'all saw me unbecoming and it was an ugly process. It was ugly than a mug. I wish I didn't have to show y'all.
We saw you dying to yourself, as the black person talks about. And that's uncomfortable. It sucks. It hurts. It's a wild and crazy ride that nobody intentionally signs up for.
And no one shows.
Yeah.
We
We
say you
don't
got
show
to
that
go through
process.
it. We don't
Yeah.
show that part.
Right. We don't know what that looks like if we've never seen it or been through it.
And God's like, I'm gonna make an example out of you.
Isn't that a song like make me an example or something? I had to stop singing that because I was like, I don't remember who sings it, but when I started listening to it, I was like,
It ain't safe.
that sounds like some unwanted warfare that I'm good. Like I
Sorry.
don't want to sing that.
That reminds me when Refiner came out by Maverick City,
Yeah,
and I was singing that song in 2019, and then we clocked into 2020, and all hell broke loose in my life. And I
right.
said, "Oh, I'm never singing that again."
It was you that made me go back and listen to it. I was like,
Somebody want to be tried by
Oh
fire.
no, yeah. Mm-mm. Some parts I'll still sing it, but I'll skip those parts and I'll sing the other
God, like,
stuff.
light them up. They asked for it. You want to be
Right.
tried by, light them up.
Right. No, I'm good. I'm good.
I
I'm
don't want
good.
that. No, I don't want that smoke.
No,
That
I
smoke.
don't want that smoke. Right. So, what does journeying? Because I do have another question. So now that you've had this revelatory moment, you are becoming the woman that God created you to be. You're
Yeah.
walking in confidence. You're walking in healness and wholeness. What do you do behind the camera that nobody sees to walk this journey out with God? Like, do you journal? Obviously, we know you pray. We know you read your word. Like, you're a Bible scholar.
Yeah.
What else do you do? Like, what does that look
When the
like?
cameras are not on, what does Brianna do? Um, Brianna sticks to a routine.
Hmm.
I think people underestimate the power of a routine and the power of decisions. I don't have much of a strict routine right now because I don't have to have a strict routine, but I also understand that everything depends on me, hinges on me, right? Not depends, right? We have to depend on God, but
Hmm.
the natural stuff is on my shoulders. And so I'm feeling that weight in a way I think that I had never had to feel before.
Hmm.
Um, but what you don't see is I don't do a lot of hyper spiritual stuff. And I know that's maybe contrary to what a lot of people are used to hearing, but I don't. I make a decision and I go do what I know to do. And so if I know that we have to do the Book of Brianna podcast, I am strategizing to how we can do this thing, how we can make this better. And I'm partnering with heaven, asking for insight and understanding. That's the extent of the spiritual stuff, right? Of course, I have my quiet time, which looks different now that we're at this point in my life. Um, but I think that God is really just giving me back my life. And that's weird to say that,
Hmm.
but giving me back my life, the one that I gave up to get out.
Hmm.
The one I
Hmm.
gave up to make it out of the hood,
Hmm.
the one I gave up to be all that I could be, right? To in my
To walk
career,
with him.
to walk
Hmm.
with him, right? Like I've had
Hmm.
to this whole journey was about undoing so many things. And God's like, now I'm giving you your life back, the one that I
Hmm.
had for you, you know, before the foundations of the world. And it is freedom, right? But I need people to understand that there's a lot of responsibility with freedom.
This is your co-creation season.
Yeah.
So we know what life is like with God the Father. But now this is your life with God the friend, the co-creator, that you get to go and, like you said, write down on this empty page what you want, but also inquiring with heaven to say, is this what you want from me? This is me in my flesh. This is what I want, but is this what you want? And I think that not a lot of people do that. We tend to be like, well, this is what I want. And I wrote all the stuff I wanted down for the man that I wanted of my dreams and all of these things that we tend to do. But
Baby,
we
what
never consult with God. God, what do you really want
do
from
you
me?
want from me?
Yeah.
And what was your original idea? Because I don't think
Mm-hmm.
God only had one idea. He may have had a big idea, but there
Mm-hmm.
were nuances in
Mm-hmm.
this idea. And so as I step into the next, I'm on the verge of the next season. You know, what I'm learning is that he is not as restrictive as we try to pretend he is. And I don't know why we do that,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not that restrictive with me. And it could be
Mm-hmm.
because I've proven that I could be trusted, right? I've proven that I could be a friend of God. And so he's like, yeah, it's just like, you know, my mom, we always joke. When I was younger, she used to be like, I ain't one of your little friends. Now look at her. One of my little,
Right. Right.
now you one of my little friends. But when I was growing up, you, Brianna, I am not one of your little friends. And now I call her girl.
Right.
What happened?
What happened? Who did it?
Exactly.
Right.
And so now that's kind of how it is with God. Like now he one of my big friends now. Like he the big
Mm-hmm.
dog. I'm like, now look. He like, yeah, I seen it. don't even trip.
Right.
And so when I'm coming into co-creation, it is a responsibility, but there's so much possibility. And I think that that's what I want listeners and viewers to take away and understand, that there are endless possibilities
Mhm.
for you if you have the courage to go after them
Mhm.
and obey God, because you have to be courageous to obey.
Yeah.
But when you make it to the other side, because the other side is promised, when Jesus tells the disciples, let's go to the other side, and then that storm breaks out,
Mhm.
the other side is promised, but you
Mhm.
have to go. You have to continue going. And I was losing heart in the process, but I knew that I dare not turn around. I dare not see what's next. And I think in the first podcast of this month, I said your curiosity has
Mhm.
to be greater than your fear. I'm very curious because I got all these prophetic words talking about all this stuff. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I ain't got it now. So it gotta be after this decision. But how
Yeah.
many of us won't make the decision for the prophetic words to come to pass? That's what I want y'all to understand. There is more. There's always more. You have to be courageous enough to follow God to get it.
So I heard throughout this last however long we've been on here, I heard partner with heaven and God.
Yeah.
I heard um courage. You need to be courageous. Um, but I want you to, as my for real, final question. What are maybe 3 tips or some tools that people can take away from this that you really wanna hone in on for people that are currently in their transition season or about to enter into a transition season?
Yeah. I want you to know that the promises of God are sure, and He promised you something to get you to go through the transition. So there, and we see that with Abraham. Leave your father's house, Abraham, who's still in his house, and I will do this thing. But he
Mhm,
first had to go.
mhm,
First had to transition, and so if God promised it, take it to the bank. But I also want you to understand that this is not just me saying that as a cliche. Test him. I know we like to, man, we be wearing Malachi out.
right.
But why aren't you testing him in the other ways? If you believe that this is what he told you to do, put that word to the test. Either you're going to be a liar,
Mhm,
or he's going to be a liar. Either
mhm.
the fear is going to be a liar or God's going to be a liar. And I've never seen him lie, even though it be feeling like he lying. So put that word to the test. You're going to have to find the courage and the strength to say, now I'm putting you on trial. Because that is what I modeled for y'all. And then I'm still modeling. So when y'all see me pop out, in the way I'm supposed to pop out, know that I said, all right, let's see. And this was me. I feel like I was kind of like gangster a little bit, even though I was crying, spitting, and farting. This was me saying, let me see then. Put your money where your mouth is, my guy. And so that is another way of saying stand on Bible, but not only stand on
Mhm,
Bible, stand on the word that God gave
mhm.
you. You know what I mean? And don't invite so many people into the deciding process. Because even though people knew this is what I was going to do, I didn't say a word until I had already decided. Once I decide, then I'm like, all right, y'all, this is what's going to happen. And, I'm still shaky, but I stand on decisions here. And so I don't want you to go ahead. It's okay, I guess, to get wise counsel, but be clear on why you getting this counsel. Because you could either be looking for a way out, because they can either talk you into it or out of it. I want you to understand that sometimes God's conversations with you is an A and B conversation. Don't bring the
Mhm.
party C in there.
That part.
Don't bring in C.
Mhm,
But the last thing I want people to take away from this thing is that you are your worst enemy. Heaven is definitely invested in the promises that are over your life, and you have so much help, assistance, opportunity. There's nothing but space and opportunity. But when you have decided that there is nothing more for you to do, there is nothing more for you to do. When you have decided and you've capped yourself at a certain level, God can only he can only encourage you up until the point of your will. Once your will gets in there and you say no, it's no. Now he gonna keep trying to nudge, right? Because he's interested in the future generations. But once you have decided, and you know how kids just fall out right there and don't get up and stick their heels in. Once you have decided that, he gonna leave you there. And you can't be mad. So for me, baby, I just think I'm supposed to be wealthy. And I think that, you know, I'm supposed to live an abundant life because that's what the Bible says I'm supposed to have. And so I'm like, what I gotta do? What's the notes?
Right.
What are
What's the
the
strategy
notes?
so I can get this wealthy laugh?
Because I want the abundant life. I don't need abundance in heaven. I'm a spirit. I want to experience it now, right? And so I want you to know, like, if you say the abundant life is yours, you're going to have to partner your actions with the abundant life. But the moment you have decided to stop showing up and using your will and strength to bring forth these things, you have literally self-sabotaged. And you can't be mad at nobody else. Because if the prophets have been prophesying that a changing of the guard is happening, who's getting in place?
Right.
Maybe you were supposed to be the next person, the first. You know, the what is it? The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. You've been in last place this whole time. So when the changing of the guard happens, you were supposed to be first, but you didn't do your part. And you have worked against the original design and heaven's plan for your life. So you can't be mad. And I want you to understand that. And so if it requires you to step out on faith and walk on water, Peter, you better step out on faith and walk on water, crying, shaking, everything, all of the things, face breaking out like me, like whatever. Come hell or high water, because I am the hell and the high water. It's going to have to happen. And so as you all have watched me journey, as you all have cheered me on, prayed for me, all of the things, I want y'all to know that I serve as a witness. My life is just a testament to God, original plans, and also it will be to his faithfulness. Now I got the test, I ain't got the money yet, but we believe in that the money is coming. And
Amen.
Period. And God is a rewarder. God is a rewarder, but it's going to require that you sacrifice something too. And so, y'all, before we end this podcast, I want to let y'all know that next week we are doing a live podcast. I've been keeping a secret that I feel like I need to tell. And so there's another part to this transition story. There was another part to me leaving my career that I had not said. And I am going to share this news with y'all live. So if you've made it to the end of this podcast, congratulations on knowing that something else is coming.
And you're going to want to be here
and
next
you
week.
Don't want to miss it. This is our first live show.
Right.
And baby, if you thought this one was good, and as a matter
hold on to your hat.
Hold on to your seat, your wig, your edges. And that episode will be live on the last day of my career. And so that is something too. So y'all, thank you so much for journeying with me, for listening to my story that I've been telling. Of course, as you know, we are talking about transitions. And so I want to remind you to get the transition toolkit equipped with 2 ebooks at briannawhiteside.com. Also, if you need strategy on what God told you to do and helps, and someone who can see the future. Have you ever strategized with a futurist? If not, try it. It'll shorten the distance between where you are and where you want to be. You can book a one-on-one strategy session with me at briannawhiteside.com. Nikki, what you got?
That was so good. You're strategizing with a futurist. Okay. Right. I believe that you watching this have been vacillating back and forth with God. What do you want me to do? Should I leave my career? Should I start the business? Should I start the business while I'm in my career? All the things. Okay, it's time to stop doing that and just pick up the phone and call your girl.
There
Okay. So I want you to go to NikkiLaGrow.com, book your one-on-one call with me so that we can get some clarity around your ideas, and then hop back over to Bree and go ahead and book your strategy so she can give you all the strategy that you need for the business.
there we
Okay.
go. There we go. Teamwork make the dream work. And of
All day,
course,
baby.
all of this information will be in the show notes so you won't miss a thing. And y'all, don't forget, we are live next Sunday for a very special announcement. And you don't want to miss this because I will be joined by a very special guest. But anyway, thanks for rocking with us today. Thanks for listening. And we hope this has encouraged you to trust God and step out of the boat. We'll see you soon in another installment of the Book of Brianna. Bye.